Hello. Today, I'm excited. I'm getting excited about getting things done. Aren't you? I am because I don't really get a chance to really dive in and teach a whole lot of what my system is because a lot of what we do in the Agent to Broker Breakthrough program is coach you on your business. The brokers and agents that I work with in that program get one-on-one coaching, and we focus on their business and what their goals and systems are, not particularly teaching or necessarily copying my particular system. So, and I do have a system. I've got lots of systems. I love systems, right? If you don't have systems in place, you are probably feel like you're juggling a little bit, or maybe you're standing in still. I don't know. I can't even imagine not having systems in place for a business, especially a small brokerage. When you start developing and you're starting out, and it's maybe just yourself, or you're laying some foundation before you start to recruit your sales force, you really want to lay down some SOPs, some standard operating procedures. That's kind of where you'll start creating your policy and procedure manual as a brokerage. Okay. But today we're going to talk about mapping out your business, and particularly your marketing, okay, and the marketing of your business. I'm going to narrow it down on that a little bit because that's what we're going to focus on in the Get It Done workshop series. Now, if you haven't already seen it, feel free to reach out to me and ask me what it's about, or if you need the link to sign up. I'm excited because I'm going to show you step by step everything that I do in my business as far as marketing and a pipeline and funneling and nurturing. And, after 22 years, I can tell you that these are the tools and the system that I have put in place that has allowed my business to be consistently consistent, which allows me to ultimately expand into multiple streams of income, which is the goal, right? That is the goal as a small brokerage. You want to really have the kind of freedom to do the things you want to do. You want to have the money to be able to buy and flip a piece of property if the right opportunity comes about. And let me tell you, you're in the right position, right? Opportunities come about, don't they? All right. When you start manifesting opportunities, the world is unlimited. Okay. So these are some things that you might want to enjoy doing in the future when you're not so dependent on working strictly buyers and sellers. Okay. So I'm going to talk about mapping out your business today a little bit because you want to think in terms of some foundations. I call them the 4 pillars. Lots of people will refer to them as pillars in your business. And those are the things that I say you put a stake in the ground, those tasks that you put a stake in the ground for your business, whether you are a boutique brokerage owner, that's 5 agents and less, or whether you are an independent agent who aspires to have their own brokerage someday, right? You function like an independent business, don't you? Okay. You want to be able to map out exactly, where the business is coming from, where it's going to next, and how am I going to get it from point A to point B all the way down the pipeline so that the relationship is created, nurtured, know, like, and trust is developed cost effectively. You know what I'm saying? Because buying a home or a piece of property for most Americans is one of the biggest things they'll ever do in their lives, right? You've got to catch that individual at the right moment in their life. That means they need to be in your circle all the time, subliminally seeing you. Okay. and corresponding with you. Okay. That's some things we're going to talk about today. For example, your target market. Okay. You've really got to understand what your target market is. And I'm going to, there's a couple of books that are really great as far as marketing. And Don Miller is a really great one. And that is, give me 1 second. I'm going to pull it up out of my Audible account. Okay. So if you don't have Audible, I would really encourage you to go ahead and create an account with Audible. And hopefully you are consuming the information that you need to consume to keep your mind going in the right direction, right? Because some people like to read, and that's great too, if you can do it consistently. When I enjoyed reading books, I'll be honest with you, I had to leave mine on the back of the toilet because that was the only way I seemed to got 15 or 20 minutes a day of quiet, right? That's why I love Audible, because I could pop that in my earphone and I could be consuming information and multitasking. But whatever your preference is, make sure that you are definitely, taking in the content that you need to take in. Now, Get Different by Mike. I'm gonna butcher his name, Michalowicz, something like that. Michalowicz. Okay, that's a great marketing book. And Don Miller's a story, creating a story brand. Okay, these are two books that are great for nailing down your target avatar. Okay, who are you going to speak to? Who are you selling to? Who are your buyers and who are your sellers, right? You want to have that information nailed down absolutely before you start doing the whole funnel, okay? And you might have different targeting messages for different avatars. That's okay too if you do it right, okay? But once they come into your world, okay, I want you to think in terms of how you can build a community around your brand. And you can do that with Facebook groups, and you can do that with your email list if you do it correctly, right? These are tools that are at your fingertips that are not being tapped into. They're really not being tapped into. And, you're going to just be amazed. And these are seeds that you have to plant for your business. These are directions that you need to decide that you're going to commit to and take for your business, because they are tasks that are so integrated with social media and the way our society functions on social media. Everybody is in groups. They love the groups. They love the private groups. And that's the best way to search, right? If people are searching for something, if I'm looking for something, I go to Facebook groups and I search for it, right? Anything. If I want to, I have a cabin in North Carolina, as you know. When I want to know what's going on around my cabin, I go to the Facebook groups, the local Facebook groups in that community. And I get involved right there in the community groups. And you're right in the heart of everything when you get involved in a community group. Well, what if you owned and managed a great community group, right? Then you're in control of that content. You're in control of its membership. You're in control of what is put in front of the membership. You know what I'm saying? I want you to start thinking about, okay, I can do that. You know what I mean? Just because you've never taken these steps before doesn't mean you can't move forward in that direction now. Okay? Because I'm going to really open up everything and show you exactly how I got my whole business set up and all of my systems. And when you just see how that's done, you're gonna really have some lights going on, because I got a piece of this, a piece of that, a piece of this. All of the elements that are important, right? An email correspondence, but it's got to be done the right way. I'm not talking about canned emails, okay? And a community built in a Facebook group from cold targeted ads turned into warm leads that are driving traffic to your website that allows you to build an email list, because that's the real estate you really have to build your relationship on, is the email list, not the social media. Okay? So that's when you've got that in place, you've got the foundation of a stabilized brokerage business. Whether you are a brokerage of one, right? You can absolutely operate as a brokerage of one. A lot of you do. A lot of brokers in here are independent and they don't share their money with anyone. Whether you've got an assistant or maybe a buyer's agent or a small team, it's all great. It's all good, right? It's all good. Whether you're 25 and up, 50 or up, it doesn't matter, right? You still have to have a solid marketing foundation behind your business and behind your brokerage. I don't care how big you are, right? Can you imagine if RE/MAX didn't market themselves? Come on. That's an important element that has to be there in the foundation, no matter the size of your business. Okay? All right. So if you need help with that, now is the time to really roll up your sleeves and make some changes in your business so that in 2023, you've got a solid spring market. Okay? Let me tell you what, you need to start your marketing campaign now and be able to maintain it through the holidays. You can't turn it off just because there's a holiday or two in there. You want to really put your seeds down now so that you've got a really solid spring. And then let me tell you what, spring is where your money's made, right? You got to know the rhythm of your market, and spring is where your money is going to be made. So, if you're not going to make it in the spring, buying or selling, working with buyers or sellers, that is, right? That's where 20% of or 80% of your effort needs to be focused on is your spring market. Okay. And then what are you going to do after your spring market? Well, hopefully you've got some other sources of income, because that's the rhythm of your market. You got to feel the rhythm of your market. That's my market anyway. We always have a slow summer. Okay. We're in Florida. It's hotter than blazes out there, right? Nobody wants to look at houses in June, July, and August in Florida. I promise you. The kids are out of school. Families are busy. Floridians want to get out of Florida in the summertime, because for some reason, everybody wants to come to Florida on their vacation. So, there's that, right? So you got to know the rhythm of your market. In the wintertime, we've got the snowbirds that come into town. So we've got a buying, frenzy again at the end of the year. Typically, I can tell you in my market, if you're not under contract by December 10th, boom, that's it. December 10th, you might as well just pack up your bags and have a vacation, because that's our market. That's our market. We're done if we're not under contract by the 10th of December. We might as well go and enjoy our holiday, But when you do that, you know that if you take 1 week off, you're going to lose 6 weeks momentum, unless you've got the tools in place that do the heavy lifting for you, right? The time to market is when the market is slow. The time to market is when the market is hot, right? You have to always be marketing. You cannot stop your marketing just because this market traffic is slow, all right? Because that's temporary, okay? It's always going to be temporary. whether it's a slow market or whether it's a hot market, right? So your marketing needs to be consistent. And, if you have to lay out a budget for an annual budget, okay, this is my annual budget for my stake in the ground marketing. Now, mine happens to be targeted Facebook ads. I like targeted Facebook ads. I've always liked targeted Facebook ads. I have played with targeted Facebook ads since 2011, right? So about 10 or 11 years, 12 years almost. You know what I'm saying? It's creative. I like it. I can set it and forget it. I can turn it up. I can turn it down. It's minimal physical effort involved, but that's my stake in the ground. It might not be your stake in the ground. That's okay. But if you want to explore how to create Facebook ads that are more subliminal and consistent, something that you will run consistently, not just for a little while, not just for 30 days, not, you know what I'm saying? You have to recreate your marketing, at least once a month or consistently. You have to watch it, see if it's performing. There's no one ad that's going to rocket you to a millionaire. Okay. There's no one ad that's going to do that for you. And if you aren't, if you don't have a strategy and you're not in command of that strategy, you tend to just be jumping ship a lot. When your strategy is set and you know what you want to accomplish, then you can probably hire somebody to do the creative for you if you'd like. But you really need to know what the strategy is and what they're proposing. Because let me tell you what, I've hired them virtual assistants who are supposed to have, college degrees in marketing. And, immediately the first ad that I saw that they were producing for me, I could tell this is not going to be conducive to, generating leads. You have to understand what the psychology is behind your avatar, behind your market. You have to understand that psychology and the buying process. Okay. And you got to figure out how to be in their lives when that trigger is pulled. Okay. So that's what we're really talking about, is being in people's lives when they're ready to pull the trigger. Okay. You'll always have a flow of business if you are just in 1,000 people's lives, right? How do you be in 1,000 people's lives? That's what I'm probably going to end up teaching you. That's what I should call it, right? 1,000 people's lives, being in 1,000 people's lives, and you'll always have business. You will always have a consistent flow of buying and selling. But like I said, understand how your market flows, then you understand to capitalize on your spring market. I capitalize on my end of the year market. And in between, I don't panic if it's slow, because I am busy doing something else, creating money with real estate. Okay? There's all kinds of ways to create money with real estate. Okay? All right? So there you have it. Any questions? Thanks for hanging out with me. Or if you're catching this in replay, absolutely let me know if you've got any questions. I'm going to drop in the comments the link if you want to join me for the month of September. Okay. I've got 4 different workshops that are going. I'm going to be live every day in the private pop-up group. I'm going to really just teach. See, like I said, when I'm working with the brokers and agents on a coaching level, we're working on their business. And it isn't an opportunity that I can just teach. So I'm going to put it out, right? I'm going to share screen. I'm going to click, show you step by step. By the end of the first week, for example, you're going to walk out of there with a marketing strategy, right? And your ads created, and you're going to see results. Okay. and you're going to learn how to measure the results and what to do with those results. Okay. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'll probably overwhelm you, right? I'm going to give you all of the how to, and it's going to be recorded and you'll get that in your email. But let's be honest, it's not easy setting some of this stuff up all by yourself. Okay. So it's not my intention to just dump, 40 hours worth of recordings on you, and expect you to figure it out, right? If you need one-on-one coaching, if you like what you see and you say, yeah, I want that, that's the way I want my foundation for my business set up, then we can work together after that and work through that process. You will probably need some help. Don't be overwhelmed, okay? I mean, really, if you've never set up your ad account before, that can get a little overwhelming. If you've never created an ad before, you've got lots of options. Where do you start? What do you do? We're going to talk about all of the strategies, all of the different options. You're going to be able to create one of every type of ad if you wanted to. Okay. All right. So that's what we'll be doing just the first week in the workshop. So go ahead and check it out. If you want to just jump on 1 week for $47, you can do that. If you want to jump on 2 weeks, 3 weeks, do that. But I'm going to make you an offer. Buy 4 weeks, buy 3, and you'll get the 4th one free, right? The whole month of September, and you'll come out of there ready to go for your spring market. Okay? Have a good weekend. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.